Greetings! Mantor79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Tier Days! Already, let's get started. Pressing the A button now.
Vanguard,
Loading game, and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu, going to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is Lyrical Monasterio's Prismagica Wilista D-LBT01. Alright, let's get started. Going to create new deck. And choosing the nation, Lyrical Monasterio. Okay, here we are. And like I just mentioned before, the deck profile I'm going to be making in this video is a Lyrical Monasterio Nation Prismagica Wilista deck composed of cards only available up until D-LBT01. So, alright, let's get started. So first off, going to filter settings, choosing pack, choosing D-LBT01 Lyrical Melody, apply filter. Here we go. Now first off, the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3s of this deck, we're playing Right deck, grade 3, Prismagica Wilista. Her skills are, first skill, action as a Vanguard, Soul Blast, a True-Hearted Ruby. If the cost from hate, until the end of the turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 power and your opponent cannot intercept. And second skill, action as a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, Everlasting Sapphire. If the cost from hate, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 unit cards from among them and call them to open rearguard circles, discard the rest, and those units get plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Prismagica Wilista, she's the main grade 3 to run his deck. Her first skill, by Soul Blasting a True-Hearted Ruby card, your Vanguard will get a huge boost of power and your opponent can intercept. So this first skill is to make your Vanguard much more powerful to attack your opponent with. And the second skill, by Soul Blasting an Everlasting Sapphire, you'll be able to superior call 2 new units to 2 empty rearguard circles in your field, and those 2 cards get plus 5,000 power. So for the second skill, you'll be able to get 2 new rearguards to work with, and those rearguards get a little extra power. So the second skill is a good way to fill out your field of new rearguards. So for Prismagica Wilista, we're playing 4 of her, putting 1 the right deck. Next up, the grade 3, Attentive Deep Love, Audely. Her skill is Auto as a rearguard. When you play True-Hearted Ruby, if your Vanguard is Prismagica Wilista until the end of the turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, and you can play an additional order this turn. It increases each time this ability is activated. So for Audely, she's another support card for the Wilista deck. Her skill, every time you play a True-Hearted Ruby order card while your Vanguard is Prismagica Wilista, then your Audely will get plus 10,000 power and you can play an additional order. So technically it's possible to stack the power as long as you've got multiple True-Hearted Rubies in your hand to play with. So for Audely, we're playing 4 of her. Next up, the grade 3, Relaxed Conversation, Philomena. Her skill is Auto as a rearguard. When this unit is placed in the rearguard circle, you can play an additional order card this turn. It increases each time the ability is activated. So for Philomena, she's like the Audely card I just added before. Just by calling her, you'll be able to play an additional order card, so it's a good way to play more True-Hearted Rubies or Everlasting Sapphires after calling her. So for Philomena, we're playing 2 of her. Next up, the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2s of this deck, we're playing the right deck, grade 2, Expanding World Wilista. Her skills are, first skill, Auto as a Vanguard once per turn. When you play a gem card, draw a card. Second skill, Continuous as a Guardian. For every 2 gem cards in your drop zone, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Expanding World Wilista, she's the main grade 2 to run this deck. Her first skill, every time you play a gem card, you get to draw a card. So it's a good way to restock your hand. And second skill, Continuous Guardian skill, when for every 2 gem cards in your drop zone, your Guardian Wilista will get plus 5,000 shield. So the more gem cards you have in your drop zone, the more powerful a defender Wilista will be. So for Expanding World Wilista, we're playing 1, putting in the right deck. Next up, the grade 2, Mystic Voice, Renata. Her skill is Auto. When placed in the rearguard circle, choose up to 2 gem cards with the same card names to your drop zone. Put 1 in the bottom of your deck, put the rest in your soul. So for Renata, she's a good support card for the Wilista deck. Just by calling her, you'll be able to add 2 of a specific gem card in your drop zone to your bottom of your deck and your soul. So it's a good way to give your Vanguard grade 3 Wilista these cards needed to Soul Blast with. So for Renata, we're playing 3 of her. And now for the grade 1 lineup. For the great ones in this deck, we're playing the right deck, Great One, Proof of Hard Work, Wilista. Her skills are, first skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon, cost, put a card from your hand into your soul. If the cost is paid, search your deck for up to 1 gem card, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. And second skill, auto, is a rear guard. When you play in order, Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Proof of Hard Work, Wilista, she's the main great one to ride this deck. For first skill, when you ride on top of her, by placing any card in your hand for your soul, you're going to search your deck for any gem card, for example, Ruby or Sapphire, and add those to your hand. And second skill, whenever you play an order card, just by Soul Blasting 1 for each one, you can give power to Wilista. So ideally, Wilista can be served as a 13,000 point attacker or 13,000 point booster whenever you meet the conditions and pay the cost. So for Proof of Hard Work Wilista, we're playing 1 in the right deck. Next up, the Great One, Tranquil Affection, Elvira. Her skill is auto, is a rear guard. When you play an Everlasting Sapphire, if your Vanguard is Prismagica Wilista, draw a card. So for Elvira, she's a support card for Wilista. Just by playing Sapphire from your hand, you can draw a card. And the best part is, this skill is stackable. So you've got multiple Sapphires in your hand and ways to add up the amounts of orders you can play in a single turn. You can keep drawing more cards with Elvira. So for Elvira, we're playing 2 of her. Okay, next up, the Great One, Mini Life After School, Katina. Her skill is auto. When placed in the rear guard circle, Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, choose a gem card from your drop zone and put it in your hand. So Katina is another support card for Wilista. Just by calling and paying the cost, you can take any gem from your drop zone and add it to your hand, either Ruby or Sapphire, and use their skills to give yourself an advantage. So for Katina, we're playing 4 of her. Okay, next up, the Great One, Soapy Splash, Riviera. Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Her skills are, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Sentinel in the deck. Second skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be handed until the end of the battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Riviera, she's one of the perfect guards for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. And like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, she features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discard a card from your hand, you'll be able to block an enemy attack. And also, she has an ability unique to all these standard forward perfect guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Riviera a no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Riviera, we're playing 4 of her, okay? And next up, the Great Zero lineup. For the Great Zeros to this deck, we're playing right deck, Great Zero, Brilliance in the Orb Wilista. Her skill is auto. When ridden upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Brilliance in the Orb Wilista, she's the starting unit of this deck. By riding on top of her, if you went second, draw a card. So we're playing 1 Wilista in the right deck. Okay, next up, the Great Zero, Normal Order, Gem, True-Hearted Ruby. Its skill, order, play if a counterblast of 1. If the cost is paid, draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Then put this card into your soul. So True-Hearted Ruby is one of the main order cards to play in your Wilista deck. Its own skill will let you draw new cards and then discard 1 card. And the best part is, the order card that you play will be then put into your Vanguard Soul, thus giving you the necessary Soul Blast to play your Grade 3 Wilista skill. So for True-Hearted Ruby, you're playing 4 of her. And next up, the Great Zero, Normal Order, Gem, Everlasting Sapphire. Its skill is, choose one of your units and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. Put this card into your soul. So for Everlasting Sapphire, it's one of the other main order cards to play in a Wilista deck. Just by playing this order card, you can give any unit in your field, Vanguard or Rear Guard, plus 5,000 power. Then the used order will go into your soul, thus securing you a Soul Blast to activate one of Willista's skills. So for Everlasting Sapphire, we're playing 4 of her. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we're playing the Great Zero, Original Style, El Shuka, Critical Trigger, playing 4 of her. The Great Zero, Grinning Dragon Scale, Ilse, Critical Trigger, playing 3 of her. Next up, the Grade 0, Running Star Youp, Haida, front trigger, we're playing 4 per. Then the Grade 0, Soft Light Purell, heel trigger, playing 4 per. And last but not least, the Grade 0, Greatest Star Esperanza, over trigger. Her skill is trigger additional effect. During this fight, you get during your turn all of your rear guards get plus 10,000 power. So for Esperanza, she's one of the over triggers for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, features the same skill and activation. We reveal during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but she also features a skill that's unique to her alone. When revealed during a drive check during your turn, for the rest of the fight, all your rear guards will get plus 10,000 power. So ideally, Esperanza is best used when you reveal in a drop check on your turn as quickly as possible. For the earlier you reveal it, for the remainder of the fight, all rear guards in your field will get plus 10,000 power, making it easier to pressure and finish off your opponent. So for Esperanza, we're playing 1 per, okay. Deck has been built, card effects explained, so let's first save the deck. Alright, deck saved. And the deck has been built, card effects explained, so for the cards in this deck we're playing 4, Grade 3, Prismagica Wilista. 4, Grade 3, Attentive Deep Love, Audley. 2, Grade 3, Relaxed Conversation, Philomena. 1, Grade 2, Expanding World, Wilista. 3, Grade 2, Mystic Voice, Renata. 2, Grade 1, Tranquil Affection, Elvira. 4, Grade 1, Mini Life After School, Katina. 4, Grade 1, Soapy Splash, Riviera. 1, Grade 1, Proof of Hard Work, Wilista. 1, Grade 0, Brilliance in the Orb, Wilista, starting unit. And for the triggers of this deck, no wait, not yet, still got 2 more cards. The 4, Grade 0, True-Hearted Ruby, and 4, Grade 0, Everlasting Sapphire. Okay, and now for the trigger lineup, we're playing 7 critical triggers, 4 front triggers, 4 heel triggers, and 1 over trigger, Esperanza. Alright, the deck's been built, card effects explained, so let's get to testing out the deck. But first, let's change the name. Change deck name to Wilista. There we go. Wait, there we go. Wilista. Save. Did I spell the name right? Yep, Wilista. So now we change the deck sleeve, change card sleeves. For the right deck sleeves, we're using the Wilista sleeves, press Y. For the main deck sleeves, we're using the Lyrical Monasterio flag sleeve, press A. Alright, there we go. Deck has been built, card effects explained, deck renamed, and card sleeves changed. Let's get to testing out the deck. So leaving the edit deck menu and going to fight menu, going to CPU fight, choosing the new deck I just built, Wilista. And now we're choosing an opponent. For the opponent for this deck, I'm going to go up against Masaru Kita, normal difficulty. Alright, the battle begins. Let's get started. So we're deciding who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock to rock, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock to scissors, I win, going first. Alright. So drawing our starting hands, I'm sending a heal and critical back. Redraw. Okay, not bad. Instead of the Vanguard, so I draw. I'm going to ride for my right deck, Proof of Hard Work Wilista. I discard Sapphire as the right deck cost. Ride. And end of turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. He rides. The Great 1, Deep Sonica. Vanguard skill, he soul charges. And base skill, he draws another card. Okay. He soul charge an order card. Alright. Battle phase, Vanguard the Vanguard. No guard, take the hit. Drive check. No trigger. Okay. 1 damage to me. Ow. Damage check. Ah, no, not my over trigger. Alright, 100 million power to Vanguard. Ah, dang it. Why couldn't I reveal during my drive check instead of my damage check? Alright, I'm gonna ride from my right deck, expanding World Wilista. I'm going to discard. Let's see. Sapphire's the right deck cost. Right, Wilista. Proof of part of Wilista skill. I take a card from my hand, put it in the soul. I put Ruby into the soul. And I search my deck for an order. I'm putting Ruby. Okay. Then I'm going to play Ruby. Oh wait, don't have any counter blasts. Darn it. Oh well, then I'm going to call Mini Life After School Katina to the rear guard. Katina skill, I Soul Blast 1. And discard a card. And add any order in my drop zone back to my hand. I take Sapphire. Okay. Then I'm going to, let's see, move back and call Renata to the rear guard. Renata's skill, but can't activate anything, so okay. I'm going to play the order card, Everlasting Sapphire. I give power to my rear guard Renata. Vanguard skill. I draw a card. I'm drawing a critical. Okay, I'm calling Renata to the rear guard. And okay. That's all, so beginning battle phase. First up, my left side Renata attacks the Vanguard, 10k. Alright, the attack goes through. And damage check. Ah, no, not a critical trigger, seriously? Alright, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 1 trigger to pass. Drive check. Yeah, front trigger, just what I needed. Power to the front row. So my attack goes through. Bam, and 1 damage. I'm not another critical, seriously? Alright then, boosted by Katina, Renata attacks the Vanguard. Total 32,000, the attack goes through, 1 damage. Bam! Damage check. Ah! Triple critical, unbelievable! Well, at least he wasted the third one, so no harm done. 3 criticals in a row. I'm just glad it was during my turn he revealed those. If he revealed those when he attacked me, I would be a goner for sure. Alright, he calls Selfish Engraver and Spartan. Okay, he's soul charging. Selfish Engraver attacks the Vanguard. Total adding power as well, so it's now 28k. Okay, I guard and let's see, I'm going to intercept. Total 30k. There we go. Engraver's attack blocked. And now here comes the Vanguard. No guard, take the hit. And drive check. A perfect guard, not good for me. So 1 damage to me. Ow. Damage check. No trigger. Now here comes attack from the rear guard. No guard, take the hit. And ow. Damage check. No trigger, okay. Alrighty, it's my turn. I stand and draw. I'm going to ride from my right deck, Prismagica Wilista. I discard a critical for the cost. Riding Prismagica Wilista. Next up, I'm going to activate Wilista's second skill, Soul Blast, Everlasting Sapphire. Looking at the top 5 cards in my deck. Okay, yes. I Superior Call Katina and Audley. Call Katina here, call Audley here. Calling and adding power. Not gonna activate Katina's skill. I activate my order card, True-Hearted Ruby. Counterblast 1. Draw 2 cards, discard 1. And now activate Audley's skill, plus 10,000 power. Next up, I activate my Vanguard skill, Soul Blast Ruby. Adding power to my Vanguard. For this turn, my opponent cannot intercept. Okay, that should do it. Beginning battle phase. First up, My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 28k. The attack goes through, Twin Drive, first check. No trigger, and second check. No trigger. Oh no, not good for me. Alright, so 1 damage goes through. And bam! Damage check. Ah, no, not an over trigger, seriously? Alright, then my rear guards attack the Selfish Engraver on the left. Okay, 1 rear guard down. Boosted by Katina, oddly attacks the remaining rear guard on the right. 1 rear guard down. Alright, that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. He's riding the Grade 3, Master of Gravity, Barrel Madness, okay. Spartan skill, he soul charges. He calls, okay. Vanguard the Vanguard, no guard, take the hit. He's not gonna use a skill, okay. Ah, no, not another perfect guard. Second check, no trigger, okay. 1 damage, here it comes. And bam, out. Damage check. No trigger, okay. And now the rear guard attacks the Vanguard, total 16k. I intercept with Renata. 18k, the attack is blocked. Okay. So now it's my turn, I stand and draw. I'm going to go to the main phase, and I'm calling oddly to the rear guard. Then I activate my Vanguard skill, Soul Blast 1 Ruby. My opponent can intercept, plus power the Vanguard. I play True Hearted Ruby, Counterblast 1. Drawing 2 cards, discarding 1. And both oddly skills. Adding power. Again, adding power. Alright, there we go. Beginning battle phase. First up, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 28k. Twin Drive, first check. No trigger, okay. And the second check. No trigger, okay. There we go, 1 damage to the opponent. And bam, damage check. Oh, come on, seriously, another trigger? Now he's at 23, okay. Fine, boosted by Katina, oddly in the left attacks the Vanguard, 31k. The attack is blocked, okay. And now boosted by Katina on the right, oddly in the right attacks the Vanguard, 31k. He guards again, okay. And another attack blocked, so that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. He's Persona riding, okay. Adding power, he calls the rear guard. Skill, he soul charges, okay. Rear guard the Vanguard, 20k, okay. Let's see. Then I'm going to guard with a heal trigger, 28k. The attack is blocked. 1 attack blocked. And now, Vanguard the Vanguard. No guard, take the hit. Twin Drive, first check. No trigger, okay. And a second check. No trigger, okay. 1 damage to me. Right, here it comes. And out. Damage check. No trigger. And now the rear guard attacks the Vanguard, 26k. Okay. I'm gonna guard with a front trigger, 28k. Attack blocked. And okay, finish here. So now it's my turn. Stand and draw. I'm going to Persona Ride, Wilista. And drawing a card, okay. I'm gonna call Katina to the rear guard. Katina's skill. I Soul Blast 1. and discard 1. I take any order card from my drop zone, add to hand. I'm adding True-Hearted Ruby. Okay. And now let's see. My Vanguard skill, I Soul Blast Ruby. Adding power, they cannot intercept. And battle phase, first up, my Vanguard hits the Vanguard, 46k. He's not gonna guard, okay. Twin Drive, first check. Sapphire, and second check. No trigger, okay. 1 damage, here it comes. And a Ray of Light, and bam, 1 damage. It is a... Oh, come on, another critical? Seriously? How lucky can he get? Nothing but criticals and triggers for him. Fine, boosted by Katina, audibly attacks the Vanguard, 31k. Attack blocked, okay. And now boosted by Katina on the right, audibly attacks the Vanguard, 31k. He guards a perfect guard, nice, I made him waste 1. He discards an order, okay. The attack is blocked, so... Alright, that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. He's Persona riding, not good. And going straight to battle phase, okay. Rear guard attacks. Skill adding more power, okay. Alright, no guard for me, take the attack. Ow! Damage check. No trigger. Alright, next up, he attacks his Vanguard, using skill to add power and critical, okay. Okay, then next up, I'm going to Perfect Guard with Riviera. For the cost, I'm discarding, let's see, I'll discard Audley, Perfect Guard, Twin Drive, no trigger, okay. And second check. No trigger, alright. There we go, 1 attack blocked. And now, the remaining attacker, 20k. I guard the heal trigger, 28k. And the attack is blocked, okay. So, end of turn, my turn, stand and draw. Go into main phase. First up, I'm playing the order card, True-Hearted Ruby. Counterblast 1. Draw 2 cards, discard 1. Audibly skill, adding power. And the other audibly skill, adding power. And if you play another order this turn, I'm playing Sapphire. Sapphire skill plus 5,000 power to audibly in the right. Okay, my Vanguard skill, Soul Blast Ruby, adding power, my opponent cannot intercept. There we go, and now going to battle phase, boosted by Katina, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 36k. He perfect guards, okay. Skill, he's okay. Twin Drive, first check, no trigger. And second check. No trigger, okay. 1 attack blocked. Boosted by Katina on the right, audibly attacks the Vanguard. 36k. Will he guard? He's guarding with his entire hand, okay. 38k. And now, boosted by Katina on the left, audibly attacks the Vanguard for 31k. Will the attack go through? Yeah, the attack goes through. 1 damage, here it comes. And damage check. No trigger, yes. He cannot heal, 6 damage, I win. That was a close match. I almost decked out. Winner me, I got win, attack 40,000 more power, perfect guarded, drew an over trigger, opponent drew an over trigger, did a Persona Ride, 10 turns passed, did a superior call, retired 5 more opposing units, and drew 3 more times in 1 turn. I won 3100 BP, total 6150 BP. Press A to go next. Okay, returning to fight menu, returning to main menu, going to edit deck menu. Here we are, so the deck has been built, card effects explained, and I just tested out the deck in front of you, so with that, that's all the time we have for today. So first off, I want to say thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye and see you all soon.